This is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. Of course, go to the Weird Renegade website. Hopefully, there's the past shows of Blog Talk Radio, which you could click onto the link. But you already know that Wayward is about that revenge, redemption, responsibility, and that motherfucking spell work. However, 101 monthly lessons, I haven't even started this month, and I'm not going to come back until 2025. I've been stuck in some energies. However, I'm still doing 101 lessons, which, of course, at times incorporate work or working with individuals, which is could be weekly, every day, and so on, which is separate from the monthly lessons. Okay. However, I do get people who text me. Not that I'm ignoring you, it's the fact that I'm trying to understand what you want. If you want monthly lessons or if you want one-on-one lessons, or working one-on-one together, or exactly what you're seeking. Okay, because it's very vague, and I don't pick up the phone for everybody, and I don't like to text too much finger work. Okay. However, I've been in some frequencies. I've been in a fucking time warp. I've been in a time machine. I've been in a space machine. So this energy that I'm putting out today, I'm just like, this is the master of confusion. This is the witchcraft of confusion, because I've been on some on some confusing ass shit here, which is very, very, very practical ritual. And I'm just trying to figure some shit out. First off, this shit in this universal soul of them disqualifying spirit and removing the scope of spirit. CIA, psychologists, psychics, social media have put a kaput to what is spirituality and occultism. First, they put out there that if you believe in spirits and gooks and goblins, you have autism. Now they're saying you're fucking schizophrenic. And I'm like, the demon is social media. Because if you listen and look at that shit, it will make you crazy. I was listening to this woman who said that she was giving us the day in the life of her schizophrenic or her schizophrenia. She said, I see shadows. They peek at me behind the door. They're behind me. They're over there. They're over there. I said, what the fuck? I said, that literally could be spirits. So now if you see fucking shadows, they be around here talking about shadows. I see shadows. So I guess my ass is schizophrenic. Okay? God damn. And I was in an interesting conversation. And let me say this. You know what's fucked up about social media and something that contradicts itself? They say on social media you can't diagnose something, but they're diagnosing people in the air. They'll literally, in some cases, shut down people's social media and say, you can't advise this, you're diagnosing something, and this and that. However, in a subliminal way, they are diagnosing people. They're making people believe that they're literally out here crazy, and they're not. Okay? And that's the thing. And there's a fucking difference. There's a fucking difference when you have the religion of the CIA that creates, because here's the thing. I was in a conversation with someone, and we were talking about Dr. Umar Johnson and how they prop certain people in front. I said, those are fucking CIA motherfuckers. All of them, the whole conscious community, are people with fucking psychosis and criminals. And we're going to stop that fucking playing and just say it like it is. And I said, we don't know shit. And I'm telling him, I said, we don't know shit about this Umar Johnson or either of them niggas. Who are they? He has a psychosis. And what makes it fuck up, when you have the real people out here really doing their work, really in the spiritual life, you get connected and measured up to people like a Umar Johnson, who will appear as occultist, or even a form of occultism and spirituality or consciousness, or you get compared to Jaguar Wright, or even to Erica Badu and all that shit, and doing practical ass shit, because people will assume Pisces have so much occultism. Ha ha ha. And I don't care who's out there, because I know what it is and what it ain't, and where they pull from in the gene pool. And the bottom line is that the real occultists get bounded up with those CIA motherfuckers, and then we look like we're faking. We have to be repped. They're out here creating all these panels and shit. And when you speak the opposite of what they're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. But people don't understand is that everybody have their different occultism and what they understand and what they research and what they've been through. Nothing is the same out here. Okay? So the bottom line is that the price of occultism, for some real motherfucking occultism, is going to go the fuck up, because you have all of this orchestrated energies out here that's trying to debunk the real. And people are going to be out here hungry as fuck looking for the real spirituality, because they're going to keep trying to disfigure you and disqualify your energies and say you're schizophrenic, you're crazy, this and that. And there's a philosophy behind it, and we better understand what it is. And it's called psych wards and medicines and psychosis and psychodrugs. Okay? There's a psychosis going on around here when we're listening to crazy ass black men picking up white men ways. How in the fuck are you taking black women out to dinner, putting that shit on social media, talking about, if you eat this dinner, are you going to take a doggy bag home if you don't eat all your food so everybody else going to eat? Fuck yeah. God damn. Yeah, because she has a father and this and that, and she knows how to watch a black man's pockets. Fuck your pockets. I have a father and he was a pimp. Now what? Black men having psychosis out here. They're following in the footsteps of white men and crazy philosophies. We keep getting these interesting beings out here of men who have some kind of weird background, and they keep propping them up, and more of them keep coming out the fucking warehouse talking all that googly goo. And as women, if we have sons, we have to train our sons and understand this is social media and this is the real world. And training our daughters, because it's a whole bunch of, I call it CIA psychosis, mind controlling, brainwashing, using these fucking crystals in these fucking cell phones and iPads and, computers and all this shit in the universal soul. We don't know what's going on. They burning a hole in our crown. There is no fucking third eye. Your crown is your fucking third eye. Your ears, your nose. The fuck? Protect your crown. Protect your eyes. Your corneas and your pupils. Because they burning a hole through them with this bullshit. Right? I've been walking through portals. So let's say, for giggles and laughs, I guess I'm schizophrenic, right? And I've been looking at the world, and we are in our wrong number system as women. We should be in the 3, and the men should be in the 4s. And the men then came in and switched it up and working in 3s. when they should be working in fours. And we're not just talking about numerology. I'm talking about a frequency. We should, as women, we should never be working in the number four, because that's not how that works with us. What type of psychosis are we under, right? As I'm talking here on December 13th, right? We keep letting these new breeds of motherfuckers come in and disqualify us. Say we have psychosis, create all these gurus and philosophers, trained mental caseworkers, all that. And it don't mean shit, right? There's something going on within the frequency, and I'm trying to catch up to it, and I can't get out of it. And I'm lucky I'm free today. And it's also dealing with what they call shadow selves. And a spiritual constituent was telling me how on social media they have this new Gen Z kind of millennial frequency talking about positionings and all that. Fuck all that shit. That's just white folks and that love and light bullshit that you niggas done sat up and wrapped your asses up into and think you saying something. You sound like a damn, I don't know, a dog running to its own vomit. Just keep going around in circles saying the same dumbass shit. And you're not even moving with the frequency. You're just common. So you're moving in common spaces with white folks. And you should know, and you should fucking know better. But you don't fucking know better. In this month of December, in winter, right? Y'all out here tripping because the Vatican, after 25 years, going to open up the holy doors, and you afraid of Baal running his ass up out there to fucking bull. Who gives a fuck? Y'all out here talk about drones in the air. The aliens are coming. They killed the aliens. The aliens been dead. Decades and centuries. These are hybrids. This is bullshit. Northern California had a motherfucking earthquake. 7 point. But shit wasn't fucked up. Damn, I was in the 1989 earthquake. The Bay Bridge fell. Different parts of San Francisco fell. Fell Street, Oak Street. Shit, over there, the Embarcadero. Goddamn. The marina got towed the fuck up. Sinkholes. Shit uprooted. The Giants was against the A's. And then also the TV shook and you see the baseball players like, what the fuck? Blackouts, everything. Auntie stuck on fucking Bart underwater. And that was what, a 6 point what? Talking about over there in Humboldt County. We all know what's going on in Humboldt County. You got niggas walking on fucking Ocean Beach, that dirty ass beach. They talking about tsunami watch, where the coast. Then you have them talking about in San Diego, there's a fucking radiation going on due to the earthquake, due to the earthquake and da 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 da. So my whole thing is, so what the fuck else did they release out of the water? And how come UC Berkeley Seismo Lab is not really talking about it? I used to work there. When that earthquake happened in Japan, I went into work early and looked at the seismograph. And looked at how heavy it started and how it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Underwater. I seen fucking Japan shift and drop. Some people think it was an explosion. The way Japan just sunk. Still getting particles in the West Coast, especially Seattle, San Francisco, stuff like that. But what the fuck is going on in San Diego? Remember, that's military, right? People would never think that California is military. California military like fuck. Especially if you go over there, what is it, in between, was it Concord and is it Pittsburgh Bay Point? Clyde? Where the railroad tracks are. Some of you know where I'm talking about if you from the Bay Area. If you go up in the cuts, I think it's over there at Clyde, and there's like those railroad tracks. And then I think it's the Navy or Army base over there. But over there where the railroad tracks are, there's a mountain, and it opens up, and you see vehicles driving from underneath the ground, allegedly. There's a whole lot of shit happening in the ocean. But there's portals that have been and opened up. I'm in it. My son is in it. And as your shadow selves with you, y'all may be going through something different, right? We went through a portal, me and my Capricorn son. I told people this, so I said, Chinese kid come walking up in here because we had the door open cleaning up. And he walked up the walkway, took his shoes off at the motherfucking door. I'm in the garage. My son's standing there at the door looking at the little Chinese kid walk himself up in here. And I'm looking at him, and I said, who is that little kid? My son is still looking at him. The little Asian kid heads to the damn living room, looking around. He talking like a little old man. I said, what the fuck? I'm chasing his little ass down. He walks back out. He said, okay, I seen what I needed to see. And he turned around. My son's still looking at him. I'm walking out after him. I look, I see his sister in the car with no mama. And I said, what the heck? I'm talking to the little Chinese boy. He ignored my black ass. He got up in the car, closed the damn door on me. And I'm looking at the sister, what's going on? She said, I didn't think he was going to walk in. I said, what? And my son calling me, talking about, Mom, come back. That girl's scared of you. I said, what? And so I asked my son, I said, did you see him walk in here? He said, yeah. I said, what? Do you say anything? He was like, I said, did he appear to be scared of you? He said, no. He just walked. He was stood at the door. He said some things. He took his shoes off and walked right in. So anyway, the nosy neighbor was outside, right? And I kept looking at her, but it was strange. It was like I didn't exist to her. None of it existed. I said, what type of motherfucking bubble realm is this? Because she was like, she's pretty nosy. She'll look up and be like, what's going on? She didn't do that. It was like, duh, 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 duh. I said, what the fuck was that? Orbs and portals opening up at night. Sitting, you're in another portal. You're like, what the fuck? Bed moving, everything moving, you're floating. That's why I said time travel, time warp, time machine. We're in fucking standard time. And do you notice how time keeps speeding? And it's not even damn fucking daylight savings time. There's fucking you guys call them skinwalkers. I call them shapeshifters because skinwalkers are on the native side. They're fucking shapeshifters and beings hiding in bushes telling you to come to the bushes. But you saying I got schizophrenia. My son was outside barbecuing at 9 o'clock at night. And he came in my room. He said, Mom, there's something out there to keep trying to make me come to the bushes. I said, what? He said, it's like, it's making sounds and da 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 da. I said, what? He said, no, come, come, come. I was like, what? Go outside. We're standing there like, what the fuck? We, and then it got louder and worse, and we could hear it, and we could hear it in the bushes. And my son was like, I'm not going over there. I'm not going over there. I don't know what that is. I think it's trying to get me. I said, what the fuck? I said, let's get back in the house. I don't know what that is. I don't play no games. And it sounded like a female. I said, I don't know what in the portal, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of time traveling going on. And it's dealing with the sixes. And you have to keep going back. Right now, it's like reminiscing backwards. I keep noticing I'm talking to my son about shit of years beforehand. So we got to keep going back 6 years, 6 years, and 6 years. And what happened within the 6 years. And still look at the in between. You have to basically put 2024 on the shelf and go backwards into 2016. Go backwards into 2010. Go backwards into 2004. Go backwards into 1998. Go backwards. And you will, and every time you go back to your 6, you may end up somewhere where you don't fucking understand. And at the end of it is 1992. And then keep going 6 years back, 6 years back, 6 years back. Right? So we're in a fucking portal. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm reminiscing, right? I had to go backwards in time because you guys been distracted with Jay-Z. I said, Jay-Z, 1994 is when I was introduced to him for me. But 92 is where I seen this man and I was like, what's that? Right? When I went back into the portal, I said, what the fuck? In 2000, Trump ran for president. Do y'all remember that? Because I didn't. And he was under the Reform Party. In 2016, he ran for president, and a young white boy that looked like the same white boy that supposedly shot at him in 2016. An attempt to assassinate. Did we forget that in 2016 he got shot at or whatever happened, or some kid jumped on the stage trying to do something to him? Did we forget about that? And they're regurgitating the same bullshit in 2024? We're up here getting distracted like dumb Negroes over Jay-Z and a 13-year-old. That fake story. When we know we have to go back in time 6 years, so a lot of things can be explained. We're not understanding that people are done with. They have used him Ain't about he got the car, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. We don't even, when you look at him with his family at the fucking Lion King bullshit, none of them niggas look real. And I'm looking at Jay-Z, I said, that's not fucking Jay-Z. That's a man in a fucking costume mask. And if that is Jay-Z, he is fucked up, because I'm looking at how the suit look, his body look, everything. Height. No, they're done. They have put everything in his name. He's done everything what he was supposed to do. He has basically done the assignment. Hollywood has done the assignment. Ellen DeGeneres, all of them are done because they have completed their assignment. I was discussing with someone more and more, I don't believe these studios were paying these people. I think exactly who was paying these people were the Middle Easterns and dang Indians and whoever else, Asians. That's who in the fuck was paying their bills. They was staying up in, there is no Hollywood Hills. Them motherfuckers was probably buying them houses and putting their name on it or renting to them. I don't believe Ellen DeGeneres house was even hers. Nothing was theirs. This money was always pushed from third world energy. The Jews are done. That's why they went and busted their fucking Orthodox synagogue and pulled all that motherfucking shit from underneath it. Because they're done with them. They're done with the hybrid Indians with those casinos and the reservations. You know, the fake Mexicans. Well, I'm not going to say fake Mexicans, but they had the fake Indians, and they were really Mexicans living on the reservations because they were doing the interesting bidding of the underworld. But now they're losing these properties because they owe a debt. Then you're wondering why Native girls are missing, Native boys are missing or coming up, fucking organs gone. You're wondering why in the hell a Native girl is in fucking Canada, hidden at a fucking Indian hotel owned by Indians. We're gonna say allegedly, but yeah. See, I'm talking to the real militia about what the fuck is going on, not this new militia, the real militia. Because you guys are distracted. See, you're not understanding that everybody have a debt. Everybody did the bidding. They went and gave black people fucking recording studios. Well, you've done your bidding. You've sat up, you've entertained, you've prostituted, you've trafficked, you've washed. Ain't shit for you to do anymore. It's done. The same thing with the hybrid Indians is you're done. The same thing with the Jews. So they're using the Jews to do their bidding, but the Jews are done too, pretty much. So when we talk this interesting story of Jay-Z, what the fuck are we? Why are we listening to this? Because you're fucking distracted. I don't give a fuck. You have Puff Daddy's son talking about he's been blacklisted. He can't rent shit. What you talking about? Your daddy's credit is done. Yeah, you blacklisted. It makes you go back and look at Wendy Williams, what the fuck she was into, huh? Everybody that failed makes you wonder what the fuck was when she's a gatekeeper who married a Virgo. Don't think a Cancer can't be part of pimping and pandering. Because that means somewhere down the line, Miss Wendy Williams must have had a Libra. which a Libra is the underworld. That's a whole other, that's above y'all pay grade. You got Russell Simmons kids have to pay off their parents' debt. Russell Simmons' daughter is paying a debt. Reverend Run's daughter, Miss Angela, is paying a debt. Kimora really wrote the book, but Kim Porter? But you're distracted. The witchcraft of confusion. Black people, black entertainers are returning to the Chitlin circuit, but the Chitlin circuit is a third world Chitlin circuit because it's not the same Chitlin circuit. You guys out here performing in front of third world people that's treating you like shit. Kind of remind me of that story. I forgot that Latino singer, and he said that he performed for Escobar, and Escobar had his ass singing the same fucking song all night that he had to finally run, and he said that Escobar goon shot at his ass. I was reading something about Chris Rock, something he had to leave or some kind of private performance. Nah, because you a Chitlin circuit. That's why we, as of lately, we've been seeing these entertainers performing privately because they've been performing privately because that's who pays their checks. Did we forget when Kim Kardashian hopped off that fucking private jet or airplane or whatever with that Asian guy with a whole garbage bag of money? People are tripping because Hugh Hefner is buried next to Marilyn Monroe, and both of them were born in the same year because Hugh Hefner was pimping her and part of the pimping pandering. What you think was going on at that Playboy Club, especially with kids and underground shit? Nothing new. It's just what it is. As we're distracted. And we hate to understand the fact that everybody's going back to the Chitlin circuit, but again, it's third world. Can you imagine performing in front of a third world person and they throwing chicken bones on you, doing all type of shit because they can, because they paying you millions, so you'll just take the punishment because you're desperate. The new slavery is the Chitlin circuits. And working for third world people. That's the new slavery. These people owe a debt. You guys got distracted still with Daniel Penny, with that fake ass story, with those crisis actors. See, what they tried to play you on, what you guys missed. Remember that whole shit, that censoring shit for you to speak? So you couldn't speak out and say, hey, that looks weird. Hey, this. Hey, didn't we see this person over here? See, they went and sued Alex Jones. See, Alex Jones, he's a fake ass anyway. Sometimes he's up and sometimes he's down. But they did that whole lawsuit to shut you the fuck down so you can't say nothing. You can't get on social media pointing shit out because they don't want you to think. But Alex Jones is the reason why we can't say, hey, that's a crisis. What, that look fake. What? That don't sound right. Are you telling me in New York motherfucking City, people watch that man choke the fuck out a homeless guy, and they gave us 3 different versions of this homeless guy. And then after this man has been acquitted, which he was always going to be acquitted, then that Neely's father and everybody speaking. Now, where did this father come from? I'm confused. What's going on here? And the thing that really gets me is being here in the West Coast, they really wasn't talking about that Daniel Penny case. But when I went to the East Coast, that shit was like da-da-da-da-da-da. I said, what the fuck? Right? And my whole thing is, what's the distraction? I don't believe this story is real. Allegedly. I won't say alleged. I'm going to allegedly say I don't believe this story is real. I think it's very orchestrated. I think people are on bullshit. And it's a distraction. Okay. The other energy that's a distraction that I found very interesting is this new militia behavior, right? And I said, what the fuck is this? Because it's not real. It's not the real militia. Deny, defend, and depose. United Healthcare CEO murdered. Face covered. They said he was in blackface. First he was in beige, now he's in black. Meanwhile, he's upset with the health business or healthcare business because he got into some kind of accident where he has foggy brain, nerve problems. His body can't move like it used to, some spinal issues, all of that. Pins in the neck, all of that. But then they said he went missing from Hawaii, Los Angeles, San Francisco, then went to New York. Family Italian Masons, they allegedly, American Italians. Prestige. Compared to the as they keep calling him, the United Healthcare worker, he had a little bit more of a simple life, where this alleged deny, defend, depose had a prestigious life. Good looking. Almost remind me of JFK Jr. But then something is interesting. I said, I'm very confused about a lot of things with these Italians. He looks biracial. And we understand, what Italians are, especially them Sicilians and more, and what they can look like, right? But are those the real Italians? And are they hybrids? And how come at one time with the census, Italians were the number one ethnicity and culture of people in the United States than the Slavics? And where did Italians originally come from, and what are they, right? His name is Luigi. And don't ask me to pronounce his last name. And I said, well, what type of games in the Mario Brothers are they playing with us? I said, because this seemed like straight Mario Brothers. I said, Luigi? So they made sure to give you an authentic Italian name. I said, that was very Byzantine and Italian of them, right? So I said, so they didn't gave us a distraction of Daniel Penny, Luigi, and that Hannah, what's her name, Kabashi? Remember that Hannah shit, the missing girl, the missing lady from Hawaii? And she came to California and they couldn't find her here, find her there. Then she went to Mexico. Then her father came here and allegedly killed himself. And then now she's been found. I said, so what underground tunnel did Daniel, Penny, Luigi, and Hannah come from? And what type of motherfucking games is going on here? Right? So I was looking at Luigi and I said, that's very interesting. They're two different Luigis, because the Luigi that's handsome with that six-pack going on with that kinky hair, he's meaty. And he has very nice features. But then this new one is very skinny and has straighter hair, not kinky. And furthermore, this one, they said that he can't even move his body. Then why in the fuck was he jumping and hopping and doing all that stuff if he can't do shit? So did the original, allegedly, Luigi, did he really die in an accident? And then this one here has taken his place? I'm just asking questions because they said we have schizophrenia and autism. So I'm just asking questions, right? Right? Because I'm comparing, I'm looking at the bottom for the body frame, looking at the hair, looking at how he's moving. And I'm like, so what type of games are they playing? Because Luigi allegedly means warrior. And I said, but he's very tantalizing for all corners, from culture, race, men, women. What type of fucking games are they playing here that they're trying to create this fake militia? Because they're saying that the individual that he murdered was set to testify. And I'm like, and he was taking kickbacks from Nancy Pelosi. So I'm a little confused about what was going on. This is just a regular man CEO working, making his money. And the health business and health energy has nothing to do with him. It has to do with government. So what the fuck is going on here? And who are they about to put in place? So now they put everybody faces up who are CEOs. It's like the president. The president don't make a decision. It's like the mayor. The mayor don't make a decision. So do you understand that he was executed, that man? That they walked up on him and shot him? What? What are you talking about? How come we don't have better video of it? How come it's so foggy and delayed? And why did they tell us he had on 2 different frequencies? What's up? Why are they making this man a martyr? Why are we going backwards in time talking about healthcare? Did we forget in the late 90s it was a whole big issue with healthcare? Did we forget that Michael Moore had did a documentary about healthcare? But when you look it up on Google Daggers, they are changing the year that the movie actually came out, Sicko, which was what they say 2007. I said, oh no, Michael Moore had already talked about this shit in the late 90s. And then back in the late 90s, they have been talking about how the health insurance and all that was denying people and all that. So what's really going on, and what are they trying to crash to replace it with what? We're going back into the time warp. Because a lot of y'all are millennials and Gen Zs, and you wouldn't understand that they have already dealt and talked about this. So why are they going backwards in time? And then what makes it very interesting, I said, what are they insinuating with this Luigi? He looked like a little cherub, right? Romanesque, very Byzantine, with a touch of Greek. They're making him a cutie. And you know the undertones of Italian men. What games they playing here? What the fuck is this? How in the fuck? Who are these hired people on social media and media to hype this up? What in the holy door they opening with Latin? So therefore they're going back to Latin energy. What the fuck? What's going on here, right? Demonic and what is it, Pazuzu? What's going on here? But we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to admit that this is a distraction. Because I'm trying to understand, well, what did he do that was so great? He murdered a man. He murdered a man that was working for an organization. I'm telling you, y'all should really be looking at those abandoned house energies with all these rich people just leave and they're dead or they've disappeared. What they need is paycheck? What's going on? Allegedly. The art of confusion and the witchcraft underneath it. Then I started thinking, New York Italians. How in the fuck did Italians get away with all that ass kicking and violence and all that shit they were pulling? Then I had to think about it. That was orchestrated. And third world blacks don't fight like that. See, third world blacks, New York is third world. And they were getting, and that shit that they was allegedly doing, it did not make sense. Then I had to go back to do the right thing. I said, who in the fuck is Spike Lee? Why was he part of the perpetuation of this energy, but nobody gave an answer of what the issues were? Because the real Italians are black. The real Italians have kinky. The real Italians are melanated. So who in the fuck are these people? And how come black people didn't whoop their ass? They whoop everybody else's ass. I was just looking at something in Harlem where these white boys were stomping down Harlem drunk as fuck. With no care in the world, and these black guys was looking at them talking shit, but they wasn't trying to whoop their ass. They didn't ask them no questions. They didn't do any of that. I have questions. What's up? Because we all know Italians are part of the black gene pool. I remember Italians and Irish and Jews, what I call Italians, Irish, Jews, were business, entertainment, and politics. When we looked at the black exploitation movies, it was always entertained with blacks and Italians and Irish. A lot of California has a lot of Irish and a lot of Italian energy. Especially Los Angeles is what a lot of Italian. Then you have the Bay Area with a mixture of Irish, a lot of Irish energy, even some French, and a lot of Italian too. So what the fuck is this? Because they're making sure to show masculinity here, but there's undertones of homosexuality within this Luigi. And this whole distraction doesn't make any fucking sense. And like I said, this was already conquered and understood back in the late 90s and early millennium about the healthcare system. That's why I brought up Michael Moore. Interesting, right? Meanwhile, we're so distracted with this, but in Texas, we have an energy of Enrique Martin, is it Ayala? 18 years old. They went and violated his rights because allegedly he didn't fucked up some cops and then went and was, I guess, trying to, and they saying attempted murder, 6 charges on his ass. But people were saying that he was tortured. They burnt cigarettes on him. In addition to his hands were cut. And I was looking at him. I said, where did they get him from? And who tortured him? The police tortured him? You see the sheriff standing there, everything. But we're not talking about this type of stuff, right? He asked for an attorney, and he said to this person that was giving him his charges that he didn't understand, and they violated his federal rights, right? But we don't want to talk about that type of stuff. We want to talk about this dumbass shit. You know, Daniel Penny, Luigi, and this Hannah chick. And sit up with these shaky knees over the holy door opening, right? As we're distracted. Let's go back and talk Jay-Z. Look, they all are in it together. I'm a little tired of them keep pointing out these black people, what the fuck they doing. They all were doing it. And they all know what's going on. But we're distracted. Look, I remember back in 2002, I was living over there in Washington Heights. I caught a certain comedian up in a car with a 14, she was about at the most 14, 15-year-old girl. Top of Washington Heights. And I was staring his ass down, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he kicked the girl up out the car. And I went back to my roommate, it was a Puerto Rican girl, and I told her what the what's up was. And she said, oh, him? And she broke it all down to me. She was like, he ain't shit. And then when he got into that truck accident, I said that was well-deserved, allegedly. I'm not giving no names. I'm just saying what it is. They've been doing it. And it made me think, was that truck accident due to what the fuck he was doing? You know? I'm just saying, right? These people be out here how can I say it? They've been talking about this for so long of how they assault boys, they assault girls, they have them drink blood, they have them drink animal blood, they have them do butt games, kiss little boys kissing grown men, licking them on the butt, all that shit. And most of the time they kill the girls because they need the power of the woman, females. That's why I'm bringing up Luigi. Very interesting frequencies, right? We have so much other shit to be talking about. Right? We're over here concerned about Jay-Z, but there's a whole family of black children being kidnapped at the bus stop. Where are those kids at? Jay-Z didn't kidnap them. Diddy didn't do it, as you guys call it. So who went and who is going, watching kids going to the bus stop and then kidnapping them? Right now, there's an alert for 3 black children who are brothers and sisters, and they're kidnapped. They're just gone. Okay. As you are distracted with all that shit, we have more and more, and it's coming out. It's funny, and a spiritual constituent was talking about this to me. Special education teachers are sexually assaulting kids. Okay. You guys are worried about Jay-Z, but we still haven't understood what the fuck was the Dalai Lama doing when he went and stuck his tongue out and said, suck my tongue and kiss that Indian boy. Can you explain that to me? How can we have not addressed? How can we haven't addressed Gandhi and how he was trafficking and the kind of sex energy, what he was doing? Why are we not talking about that? But we want to keep talking about Jay-Z and this shit been popping off. How come we're not talking about this Vivek? What hotels does he own? What type of business energies, especially hotels, does he own? Kash Patel, they trying to appoint him as the FBI director. And then you have Jeff Laundrie in Louisiana, the governor of Louisiana, hyping him up, talking about he'll be good. Yeah, is that because allegedly people out here saying that he has hotels up in Louisiana and Meta is about to pop up there with that $10 billion energy going on about to happen up in Louisiana? And some of you niggas think you gonna have a job there? Hell no. Isn't that a great cover up? And again, I laugh. Because we all know Trump owes money. And that person that we see is not. He owes millions. So of course he's going to put certain energies in place. They got to pay his bills. But we don't want to talk about how a lot of these politicians own, and the current ones that they're putting in place own hotels. But we're not going to talk about the clinics, the beauty clinics, the weight clinics, the Botox clinics. Maybe y'all should just research some of them investment clinics, especially in Atlanta, that you think that are black owned and is really owned by Indians, and the black people just work there. Maybe you should reevaluate some of those clinics that test HIV and AIDS. Allegedly. As you're distracted here and you don't want to know the what's up. Just like in Louisiana, clinics, hotels. They want to make sure to hide their shit because they don't want you to know that when you trying to get your paycheck, from what I heard, reimbursements and all that done, is really done in India and third world countries. You think your paycheck is coming from America? Nah. Who's really handling your benefits and insurance? When I dispute shit on my credit, they keep denying it. They wasn't doing that before. Oh, because they moved your fucking credit bureau energy over abroad? You mean in India and all these other Asian countries and Mexico and wherever? And they're looking at your shit and they say that, and they just say deny. I was on a call with a spiritual constituents trying to get some shit together. She could never get it together because she spoke to some, I don't know, she was Jamaican / African, went from a Latina, went from an Indian, went back to what the fuck? And then we did not get an American woman until the end. And once the American woman got on the goddamn phone, shit was corrected and his shit was done. I'm sick and tired of calling customer service, hearing chickens and roosters in the background, and you saying, and if I'm asking for a manager, you tell me there's no manager here. Of course not. I'm just going to ask the rooster to help me. Y'all so angry with fucking, was it Butterball? Because you finding out they was having sex with them damn turkeys. They been having sex with the turkeys. Didn't you see that Asian man sticking his penis up in the damn chicken? Having sex with it? Who's the real alien? Men put their penis in anything. You don't remember that drone that was flying above and caught the Middle Eastern guy having sex with the cow? And another one having sex with a goat? And they said women are demonic? I didn't went to the left and right. I forgot, but we're too distracted, right? We don't want to talk about the new alt-rights. Okay? A spiritual constituent was telling me that his aunt had went to some kind of seminar or whatever, and allegedly, and I'm not really sure, but it was supposed to have been hosted by WEF. And I said, WEF? They're the enemies. Well, they're having military and holding church allegedly. And I was like, in Las Vegas? Apparently Roseanne Barr and them were there, and they have ex-CIA people, and apparently it was a whole bunch of Indians and Asians. I said, that's alt-right. That's not real militia. And then afterwards, they were baptizing people. And this particular person, his aunt is Jamaican, but was in the military. I said, okay, so it's missionary shit. So they're creating a new militia. So these new aliens have infiltrated the militia. So we're not going to get the real militia, which they want to change the scope of religion. Because apparently as American people, we don't know shit about religion, because look at us, we are heathens. So we have white people who teach these third world people about tongues and how Christ is and all that. And then now you're having a new church with Africans and Caribbeans opening up churches and preaching and trying to enforce certain behaviors. I don't trust nothing you're saying, because the bottom line is that there is a translation to the Bible. And I was playing with someone, but I was saying, how about speaking in tongues is another translation to speak to your tribe and aliens? And then you have these new people trying to come in, speak in tongues, and it's not the right tongues. And they think they preaching and they ain't saying nothing. Nothing at all. No one would ever think the American culture is tongues. And they don't want anything translated because they know it's power. So they're confusing. So they're up there confusing people and creating babble. And if I hear Caribbeans and Africans preaching, I know you're speaking babble. Because you've been taught by white missionaries. This is above your pay grade. That's why y'all at WEF. You don't even know what the fuck you're getting yourself into. You're being baptized in what? That's why they're playing games with these church people and their antichrist behavior. Clark sisters, Kirk Franklin, all of them. B. Slade, a.k.a. Tone. You know who you are. T.D. Jakes pretending to fall the fuck out. We don't even know if that's T.D. Jakes, because when you looked in his eyes when he decided to fall the fuck out, his eyes turned metallic silver. I said, oh, that's death. Or is that a robot? Oh, he malfunctioned? Which one is it? Y'all, he had a stroke, he had an aneurysm, he had a heart attack. Really? Well, his ass was in that wheelchair and he left the hospital the next day or next 2 days. So when did that really happen? A minute ago? Because remember, it's social media. So therefore, we have this new energy that has infiltrated the militias. That's trying to restructure government. That's trying to restructure religion. And they're using third world energy. In a minute, you're going to see a whole bunch of mutants, and you don't know where in the fuck they done came from. When I seen that shit of the Ethiopian woman being sold to a Chinese man and her family was bartering with this Chinese man, I knew there's going to be some mutants. The Ninja Turtles are real. I said, that don't look right to me. And that girl did not want to go to that man. What the fuck? Why in the fuck are Chinese men buying women in Africa? Then Spirit said, oh, to get the land. Got you. To get the land. Got you. To get whatever resources and probably better recipes for that honey wine. Got you. God damn. I started thinking even them border kids, where did them kids go? I'm telling you, in the next 10 to 15 years, there's going to be some new mutants. It's going to be a new army. It's going to be a new police force. And you're going to think they're American and they're not. And they've been muted. Under mutation. These people want to open group homes to teach religion to the kids. You mean that's why they didn't sat up and had these people parents on dope, crystal meth, the fentanyl, all that shit, take their kids from put them in fucking group homes so we could have another new energy enforcing religion. Third world people opening group homes, orphanages, and whatever. This is what it is. This is what it is. But you're distracted. Wealth has been taken over. That was on bullshit. Crashing the current system, restructuring, rebaptizing, programming. Crash the religious system, create blasphemy within the Christian system, create these new breed of black people that don't got a bit of sense. I was listening to something where I'm hearing these black women talking about, I wear a dress da 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 da. So my Lord, your man is not your Lord because a man comes out of a woman's vagina. He is not your God and he is not your Lord. Anything you carry and it comes out your fucking vagina is not your Lord. And a woman shouldn't dare be calling no fucking man no Lord. And I had to think back to my old school. I have never heard no shit like that. You guys should go check out Kings_215. It's supposed to be HIV awareness and men, especially black men, get tested. A spiritual constituent forwarded this over to me, and it's supposed to be for HIV testing and so on, again, and awareness. He was disgusted because he said, damn, this putting basically black gay men in a different energy, saying that we just have orgies and we are basically transferring AIDS everywhere. I said to him, I've never seen black men in this type of sexual frequency. You want to talk about Luigi? That was very Romanesque of them. It was very Greekish. All the men have a fucking psychosis. We don't want to say that our black men out here having psychosis. They are the aliens. This is a species that you just don't want to fuck with. My question is, but who's investing in that? Where's the money at? It's like occultism. And we don't want to realize, they want to talk about they eat babies. No, men eat babies. Women don't eat babies. Men are the ones, when a woman would have a baby, or the baby is stillborn, or they will cut her belly open, they will eat it. They don't want to talk about that part of occultism because they want to make you think that women were eating babies and placentas. No, it was the men eating the babies and the placenta, especially female babies. And women got on the bandwagon of their ritual. How are we going to eat what the fuck comes out of us? And we want to call these men high priests, warlocks and wizards and magic keepers. We don't want to talk about that part of the world of occultism. Because we want to say, well, it's Hollywood. Nah. They do it. They do it. And white people been on it. Who in the fuck really invested in Planned Parenthood? When you go to these other countries and you really understand their work, have y'all really studied Middle Eastern men? Somebody was forwarding me over the dancing boys. Yeah, I've been telling you what they do. Somalians, Ethiopians, Middle Easterns, Bali, Indians, be with these boys. They groom them just like in Thailand. You see little boys dressing like girls prostituting. We already know it in the Dominican Republic. But you're freaking distracted. Those men that I seen that was all on the ground rolling on each other remind me of slaves. The slave mills. Of the shit they used to do to entice white men and women. But you're distracted. The inauguration is coming. Inauguration. FreakyTales for you. I'm going to read some FreakyTales to you right now. DC for inauguration, January 19th. Hey guys, will you be in DC area for the inauguration next month? 54, discreet, clean cut, conservative type, physically fit, 185 pounds, 5'11", would love to meet a like-minded guy that weekend. Let's celebrate some hot M2M fun. So what he's talking about is during the inauguration, Republican inauguration, is going to be cracking. And what I was told from a spiritual constituent, she said during the Republican conference, they said that they broke the apps off the hook, right? So here's some apps I'm going to suggest if you want to be nosy birds. Jacked, Sniffles, Grinder. Okay? Get on them. Especially get on Sniffles. I think it's called Sniffles. Because a spiritual constituent showed it to me. I was done. I mean, they had a map of where you could join an orgy, where you sitting at a fucking gas station with your dick out. You can go here, you could go here, you could go here. And where I'm at, I was peeping. It was a whole bunch of Latin and white men. This is where I'm at. And Asian men. Man. And we don't ever want to talk about third world men like in same-sex energy, right? You know a lot of HIV and AIDS come from third world energy too. And a lot of men will take their asses to those countries. And there's a lot of shit been popping up in that good Japan. STDs, HIV and all of that. They don't want to talk about that. That inauguration, I advise y'all to watch. Watch it. Get on them apps and see what the fuck is really going on. I had a spiritual constituents telling me about going into a situation, a glory hole situation. I cracked up. He was telling me all that shit and telling me who in the fuck was up in there getting gloried. And he was saying it was a whole bunch of Asian men, a whole bunch of white boys, and a whole bunch of Indian men. And I was telling him, I said, yeah, I've been into one of those before. I went and caught somebody in there that I knew. And I said, what you doing up in here? And he looked at me and ran out. You know, because, you know, I'm nosy as fuck. I look at everything. I was cracking up, though. I'm not going to tell you where they at because I don't want them to get busted. But the thing about it is, or what it is, what it ain't. But I was like, yeah, I know about that shit. I know about that shit. I was like, damn, they still got that going, huh? So we're going to say in D.C., there's going to be a lot of glory holes going on. And I guess they don't want to be in a damn bathroom tapping feet or being up in somebody's park anymore, huh? So let's check out the inauguration. Shit. I was telling somebody about the energies, let me see here, the energies of lesbianism that people are not want to talk about, because you have to understand the original origins of lesbianism came from white women. White women just do it off the bat, okay? And we don't want to talk about that. And I know some of you feminist black women be like, just face it. And a lot of times when black women are interested in that life, it's for sisterhood, but not for sexual frequency. Okay? Just like belly dancing and yoga technically was for women. Men just came in and decided they wanted to do some yoga. Okay? But that was technically for women because it unravels the feminine energy within. Because as they say, the masculine energy is what keeps you tight, but the feminine energy releases it. But if you a man, you shouldn't be doing no shit like that, trying to release nothing feminine. Okay? Anyway, so the thing about it is that I was like, dang, what made me like really understand it, I was like looking at Nikki Giovanni because she recently passed. I said, I had no clue she was dating a white woman. I said, what's up with that? That's a whole different frequency. Raven Simone, Wanda Sykes, all of that, that's a different energy. And the bottom line is that the origins of black women wasn't in lesbianism. Period. It was sisterhood. It was a frequency. It was entertaining each other. And the bottom line is that white women are naturally like that. They will lick anything. They lick anything. Okay? And so the thing is that when it comes up to the spell work, especially when lesbians doing spell work, that's a whole different type of frequency. That's a whole different wavelength, and that's above y'all pay grade. And I'm not about to argue with y'all, okay? Especially with studs going around sucking dick to accumulate sperm so they can be dudes. That's a cold game, and that's a cold spell. And you know, some of them gay guys be scared of you studs, but y'all be trying to rough them up and shit so you could get a hold of their sperm so you can, you know, suck it and shit, you know, because you think you'll become a dude, allegedly. While you over here distracted, they out here violating your federal rights and your HIPAA. They have a new thing coming on these work spots as they want your asses to go back to work called account for. Meaning they want to get in your business on why you want to take that time off. And they don't want to talk about how the pandemic has created a new mutants of people, of hypersexual, hyper fetish humans, hyper drug usage. They don't want to talk about that part. And when these people get back to work, this is what they're going to be bringing into the workspace. Y'all better understand your EEOC, but we had to just talk about that, right? You know, as you're distracted with Luigi and Daniel Penny. I was minding some business in the fashion world, and I was looking at Patrick Kelly. And you remember Tukey? You know, because they don't want to say that's his sister, but Tukey used to date, who was that? Oh, I think of his name in a minute. But anyway, I think she was on 227 and stuff. Robert De Niro. Isn't it strange with Patrick Kelly? He died in the 90s and he died of AIDS, and they'll say HIV, but it's AIDS, allegedly. How they're gatekeeping his fashions and designs, and how everybody then stole his shit, especially Gucci, especially when they did the whole sample ensemble. Because those are really his designs and clothes. Look up Patrick Kelly, but it's gonna be hard for you to find his designs because they gatekeeping it. And then a spiritual constituent was talking to me about Law Roach and where he got that name from. And he said, "Did you know there was a fashion designer named LaRouche?" I said, "Whoa, Guy LaRouche." La Roach? I said, "That's ghetto. And we supposed to be listening to him?" Okay. Let me say this. He had a lot to say to, because, and they're all in it together, to Angel Reese on how she should dress and she should be covered up. You're a man. She's a woman. She's a tall woman with a nice shape, nice body. There's ways to dress her that complements her age and her body type and her being a woman and a feminine woman. That's where it is. They don't have to wear black. They don't got to do all that shit. See, the problem is that we need to start putting in the fashion world these men on the shelf and get back to real fashion designing and styling. I know too many people in the industry that can top him and his frequency and his styling skills. Always. And the bottom line is that, hell, I went to fashion school, so I know what can be done, and this isn't it. And they're ghettoizing the energies of course, the fashion and luxury, because luxury is a mark of Cain. If you see luxury designs or the way how they created it, if you see luxury on anybody, as they call it, the Louis Vuitton and Gucci, if they want to call it that, luxury, that's a mark of Cain. That means you don't have shit. That's what it is. You don't have shit. Okay? You think I'm crazy? I don't give a fuck. It's just what it is. But they do need to put these ballroom men and men on the shelf until further notice, especially, dressing women. Let them go in and dress men. Let them stop dressing women. Because it's just like I seen something and I was appalled when I seen this trans guy, meaning transvestite, a man that dressed as a woman, but he's still a dude, giving the secrets of how we sneak alcohol into something. He went and got a whole tampon and put some alcohol in it and did all that shit. So now you gonna make it difficult. That's what I'm saying. Every time with those transvestites or trans people, they keep revealing women's secrets, the biological woman's secrets, and we're not talking about it. And we are not talking about, because we're afraid to talk about that we don't like the way that they dress us. We don't like the hair. I'm not a man. I'm not trying to overdo myself. A man doesn't have the right to say that I should put clothes on my ass, but there's always a way to compliment. It's just crazy. The industry is crazy. And then you have these new third world people coming in with closed mills and all this shit. Then you have fashion schools paying for people to come from India and different. I mean, they've always came from China. They've always came from Japan. They always came from Korea. That's no problem. But there's a new energy where the Indian people are stealing from the African people their designs, their fabrics and everything, and then creating this new technical energy. And they're paying for them to come to the United States and be educated, but they're not going to pay for African people to come. They've been paying for like Japanese and all them to come to America to be educated. They prefer it. As you're distracted. I had a spiritual constituent ask me about the cold moon I guess it's supposed to be on the 15th. I was like, what? I said, oh goodness. And when she was saying that, I had to think about it. I said, oh, the moon of Enoch. Yeah, this is above your pay grade, because y'all believe in something different, but I don't give a fuck. Oh, so the book of Enoch. So the Enoch moon. So that means something demonic is going to uproot itself, huh? So we're going to get the white pale people, the winter people going to uproot, huh? So the moon is frozen, but it's really the sun. It's called the freezing of the sun. So here we go. So we're going to have Neptune and freaking Uranus going to be close to the moon, but it's really not freezing. It is just the energies around us. It's cold, it's dark, it's dim. And that's why I said, oh, the Enochs are coming. You're going to see. Because the thing about it is that they don't want to talk about part of the Enochs is that heaven is dead, earth is dead, and there's a new heaven, and there's a new earth. And then what happens on earth is what it is what it's supposed to be. What happens on earth is what's supposed to happen in heaven. But they doing it backwards, that what's happening in the heavens is what's happening on earth, which is incorrect. Okay. It's supposed to start in the earth because it has to deal with water first, then earth, then it moves itself up into the skies, but they're starting from the skies on down. So that's why they're over here talking about this cold moon, because they're under the demons of Enoch, above your pay grade. So that's why, also with the hurricanes that happened and they sprayed all that shit that then killed everything, especially in Florida, from what I heard, killing all the damn trees and shit. I said, oh, that was the time for them to spray some shit, huh? And the earthquakes just keep opening up portals. But we out here schizophrenic. That's why it opens up that people out here talk about that they Satanists, they Luciferians, and they all that shit. You're not even practicing it right. Satanist, Luciferian. You guys connect Satanism into something negative, into, oh gosh, I gotta kill this woman and sacrifice it to its entity. That's not Satanism. And there's certain horoscopes that's under certain Satanism, as we want to call it. There's people under Satan. There's people under Lucifer. There's people under the devil. And here's the fourth one, Baal, Baal. And they're not even practicing that correctly. Okay? And there are certain people who are under these entities that you're supposed to follow. It's like, in a way, we want to say for giggles and laughs that that's your God. This is above your pay grade. And that's why they say the Cancer and Libra are the gatekeepers, because one is high and one is so low. I was just talking to someone. I was talking about Willy Wonka. And I said, how come we didn't catch Willy Wonka and Charlie, whatever they want to call all three of those energies, is talking about feces? How come we didn't catch when they kept talking about falling down a hole and they always in a fucking hole of chocolate? They was talking about feces all along. How come we not catching this oxtails and them this fixated with oxtails and fucking chitlins is dealing with anal and feces? How come we didn't catch that Wicked is just an old hag spirit, a lesbian energy? And I'm not talking about the Broadway. I'm talking about the movie. That's what it was pushing out. They're not talking about lesbian magic. What the fuck is going on when we're up here having Disney influencers dying because they trying to eat some food? How in the fuck did Tyler Perry executive die? Huh. We keep saying that Hollywood is this and Hollywood weird is that. Hollywood followed the Bible. You didn't peep that? They've been following the Bible. We're going to have new breeding houses pop up, huh? Because, especially in Orange County, they had a lot of breeding houses, especially with the Chinese people. They'll buy like mansions and big houses and then have them women have sex with these men and breed babies. so they could stay here in the United States, and then when they get caught, they get to going. Did y'all hear this other story from, what's her name, Kiara in Baltimore? And she kind of looked like a stud, and she went in with these, went to, what's it, the Residence Inn Hotel? Next, they said next to John Hopkins, and somebody shot her. And they don't know who did it and what is what and what it ain't. I said, I came to a conclusion. I said, that's the same thing. Just a moment. Hi, can you give me a minute?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. That's the same thing with Kanika Jenkins. What the fuck is going on? Is this a whole prostitution ring, and it's always ended up with some fucking gangs involved? And a female ends up dead. A woman has to be careful because men will eat us and kill us. They want our energies. That's why I told you women didn't naturally eat babies. It was men. That's the magic trick of it all. I don't know where JD Vance is, ex-Trump. So where in the fuck is the soon-to-be vice president? They can't find him. Where's he at? Let me just go and read it. I don't know where JD Vance is, ex-Trump advisor says another ally is acting as VP. What? Where the fuck did he go? What happened? Y'all out here gonna celebrate that Christmas, huh? So everybody around here tripping with that damn jingle bells. Yeah, we know it's connected to fucking, the deers. What is it? The reindeers. And in addition to the enslavement and the bells ringing and jingle bells and all that, well, if you feel anything about it, then what you do is set up bells in your fucking house as decorations, ring that shit so the ancestors can come and start fucking up shit. But y'all don't think about that. Y'all, oh my God. Oh, is that what they did? Okay. So I don't get it. Just like somebody cracking me up talk about hot sauce. They use hot sauce and hoodoo. I said, that's funny, but that's not in my culture. See, we don't understand as black people, we come in different cultures, different energies, different frequencies. Because my cousin said, if you going to use hot sauce, bitch, you better use some Tabasco so you could throw it in a bitch eyes to blind them. That's not for food purposes. The fuck? I have a question here. 82-year-old Mitch McConnell falls during Senate Republican lunch. I thought he was dead, and I thought they got rid of him. What? I'm confused. Masterpiece son arrested for allegedly stealing refrigerators from the university. Is this what niggas doing? You got fucking Jaguar Wright talking about protect Kendrick Lamar during a Super Bowl because da 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 da. No. The problem is with the dome or them bodies in the cemetery that is buried on top of and the shit that was going on there. I don't give a fuck what he's doing. I want to understand the entities that's about to roll up out of that energy. Fucking around with a Gemini. Here's your Middle Eastern men. Here's some freaky tales. Arab, bubble, bubble, bubble butt bottom, looking for an average size top who can host. I would love to please you. Also love to have my back door licked. This is a Middle Eastern man. It says Arab. Arab, new fantasy. I'm 29 years old, 5'10", 185 pounds. I come to you over me. I come to you, cover me with oil and rub everything. This is a fetish and a fetish and I have for me. I do not want sex at all. But you women out here calling these men lords. You letting them beat your ass. You letting them do all this shit, and this is what the fuck is going on. Then when that inauguration come, they really gonna be cutting the fuck up. The shit I know now, I was like, what the fuck? So I'm still in my fucking portal, and I know I'm all over the place, but it's just what it is, what it ain't. But this is Weird Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done.